Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. And through this channel, I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to get access to our exclusive in-depth strategy video and also join us in the challenge for the little as $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In the previous video, I looked at tick symbol MMTLP with focus on FUD. We also looked at tick symbol SAVA, Cassava Sciences, with some positive developments there. In today's video, we're going to be following up looking at MMTLP with an update with regard to S1 approval. We're also going to be looking at some positive news with regard to more drilling going on the lands, and we're also going to be doing an update on the FUD, as well as looking at updates for tick symbol SAVA and also AVCT. So stay tuned for those updates. Let's first of all start by having a look at what's happening in the markets. I'm sure you're all aware that we finished off with a very difficult week, probably one of the worst weeks for 2022. So headline here from Reuters, the Dow drops but narrowly avoids confirming bear market status. So it's looking likely there is a strong possibility of heading into an official recession. So officially not declared a recession by the governments yet, but certainly looking to head in that direction. And then finally, quick shout out here to TradingView, who have summarized nicely here the US stocks over the past 30 days. So if anybody was successful making a call in some of these big blue chip stocks, then congratulations if you have found a green on here. I'd like to start by looking at some news with regard to a new drilling permit that is from an outside party. So let's have a look at the details of this. So I'm going to give a shout out here to the Bird Lady, so please head over to her channel. She just released a video today. Excellent DD, excellent research, and you'll get further details in terms of the permits and the company behind them. But this actually came from C Plant, so shout out here to C Plant on Twitter, who's initially, after doing some digging, came out with this news, and he's posted here: a new well has been permitted by Tug O&G, but it has Hudspeth OP connection. So the land is on Hudspeth, so that's obviously our land, and he's identified it here in an additional post with some yellow pins identified as land of Hudspeth. Now it's Nexbridge. So he's posted here, definitely on our lease now that I got the coordinates right. So great research there from C Plant. So again, as I stated there, have a look at the video from the Bird Lady for details of this development and breaking news. I'd like to now do an update on S1 approval. In the previous video, I did state that I do believe that there is been a second comment letter. So let's have a look at how quickly does the SEC staff review a form S1 with regard to a second comment letter. So we have a look at the third row down. We're looking at median days 15, range 13 to 18. So the minimum it could be is 13 days. However, we're not sure when this second letter may have been sent. So again, purely speculation here. And the fourth row, we can see second comment letter to second form S1 amendment. Potentially it could happen as quickly as 6 days. So these are calendar days, not working days. So the weekends will be included. So possibly a delay. It could be a short delay. In my opinion, it will be a short delay. And I'm thinking what I do believe personally is the amendments are not major, they are minor. What I'd now like to do is an update from the previous video where we looked at the FUD shared in the comments. So I'm going to give another shout out here to Rob, who's clarified something that I did ask, and one of the things that I wasn't sure about in terms of where Rob was coming from. So I got the impression that Rob was saying all MMTLP are worthless and not going to give any value in terms of potential spin out. However, he has said that people who received these as original legacy torchlight holders, for them they are not worthless. But what I think he is saying here, if you buy these on the open market, then you're not guaranteed to get the spin out. So let's have a look at analysis, feedback and comments in terms of the clarification here of his FUD in terms of how I'm seeing what you're saying now. So what you said here, these are my rights to next bridge. If you sell, you don't get next bridge. It's hold or take the 150 on the OTC. Hours from the record date are worth more than that as far rights as go, but you have to have got them from Torch. So that's the key thing that he's sticking to. So let's have a look at the overall thing in terms of the alternative opinion. What Rob is saying is, obviously, if you buy, what Rob is also saying here, if you buy these shares on the OTC, you're looking at buying synthetic shares. They're worth nothing apart from potentially just buying and selling and day trading them, but he believes they're not going to give you rights to next bridge. So let's have a look at the two questions I think Rob has not clearly answered. So the first one is with regard to John Berder. So obviously I'm sure Rob will say John Berder is technically an outsider, so I have to agree with that. He is technically an outsider, but the other thing that to bear in mind is what you also have to look at is although John Berder might officially be an outsider, does he know nothing about what's going on? So certainly not. I don't believe he knows. I certainly believe he knows much more, probably as much as the insiders in terms of what's going on, especially with regard to MMTLP. We don't need to go back again in terms of what John Berder has said, but we all know that John Berder has clarified you buy MMTLP and you will receive next bridge. The other thing I think we need to look at in terms of the other implication for what Rob is saying is also saying that this has got nothing to do with George, because George has remained silent and he's not stated something. So certainly George has not been forthcoming in terms of specific comments with regard to MMTLP and the current situation. However, from my point of view, what I believe is silence is not a defense. If we hypothetically now take Rob's argument that people will get nothing from buying MMTLP, then from my point of view, George is under a legal obligation to protect investors, protect people buying MMTLP, if basically what Rob is saying. And if George does not do that, then I think George has got serious credibility issues. I think he's treading on dangerous legal grounds. And what we are then saying is if we follow Rob, then it's either a case of George and John Berder a dead man walking, or is Rob a short man walking. I'd like to now finish off by having a look at two stocks that we called on our weekly watches. The first one was ticker symbol SAVA, Cassava Sciences. So this was a stock that we shared with the members in the Discord prior to trading on the Monday, and I am aware that many people have made significant profits, and that is especially positive in a very difficult trading week. So we can see here we called it on the base of a positive sentiment. There was also a thread going around with quite detailed information in terms of the research, and if we have a look at the chart for ticker symbol SAVA, we can see the stock was up 38% on the week. It was also up close to 68% if you sold around about the 23rd after that strong dip down. So if we see there around about 23rd of September, it's gone down quite significantly. So where it was trading in excess of $50 quite sharply to around about 37, it has consolidated up a little bit, closing at $41.87. So why did we get this sharp decline? So let's have a look at here. Post from Ortex, and what Ortex said here is that SAVA falls 17% after saying it's not received any terminating letter regarding any government investigation. A report on Thursday had suggested that the SEC was closing its investigation. So this is something that has happened quite a few times with SAVA. We get good news, we get bad news. It's extremely volatile. So as stated in the Discord, definitely protect your profits. But in my opinion, I think SAVA is going to be cleared. I think once we get that news, again, could be a great opportunity again to take profits. A final update I'd like to do was on ticker symbol AVCT, and you'll be able to see here again, this was covered in some of my previous videos on a number of occasions, which you will have seen, and also added to our weekly watch list here. And the DD was shared from the video. So if we have a look at the chart for ticker symbol AVCT, also known as American Virtual Cloud Technologies, on the week this was up at one point in excess of 77%. It was also up trading in excess of 40 cents. It has come down a little bit right now, but close of play on the Friday, it was still up in excess of 8.4%. So we were calling this out when it was trading just below 18 cents. So a great opportunity at one point to also take profits in excess of 100%. Still running on rumour, still not confirmed news, but lots of bullish sentiment for ticker symbol AVCT. It's also a penny stock, so certainly a great idea to take profits. And finally, if you'd like to get advanced notification of our weekly watch list prior to trading on the Monday, you can certainly join the Discord for little as $9 a month. And this would also give you access to the challenge. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.